So I'm here in the misty Mendips this morning, and I wanted to show you an example of some fantastic hedgerow management. You can see this whole long stretch of hedge has been laid. You can see all the pleachers that are going diagonally. You can see the stakes and the binders. And this must have been laid a year or two ago, and it's starting to be trimmed now. So this is brilliant. So the key thing about hedgerow management is hedges put on branching growth just below where you cut them, and laying, you cut them right at the bottom, so they put on extra branching growth right at the base. So wherever you cut a stem, you'll get several stems shoot up in its place. And of course, you know, when we then incrementally trim the regrowth, every single place that we cut this hedge, it's going to put on wonderful branching growth, and this is going to become a wonderful dense bushy hedge right from the bottom up, which is what we need, which is what animals and wildlife need as well. This is a particularly lovely example because, as you see, it's been laid beautifully. It's being incrementally trimmed with the regrowth, and they've also been leaving a few new hedgerow trees as hedge standard trees. Now this is the perfect time if you want to establish more trees in your hedgerow. Laying is a really good time to do that, because basically this will have been quite an overstood tall hedge, and what they did was find a couple of these stems that looked in decent nick and left them standing when they laid everything else around it, and hey presto, you've got a new hedgerow tree standing proud above that managed hedge below. And if we have a look a little bit closer, we'll see exactly what's going on. So what you'll see is this here. That is the pleaching cut, and here as well. So these stems, these big chunky stems, used to be stood upright, and that cut face there is where there's a slanting cut done to it, maybe 80% of the way through, and then that is bent over to make this wonderful sort of woven hedge. But what happens at that cut, at that stool right down at the bottom, is what the magic of hedge laying. And that's actually because obviously where you've made that cut, you're going to get extra branching growth and new regrowth. And you can see all of these slightly sort of green stems coming up. They have all come up from that cut stall because this hedge has been laid. Now that is wonderful. Creates a thick, stock-proof, dense sort of hedge immediately with wonderful wildlife. But this is the gold dust. This is the next generation of hedge. So this will grow up over the next sort of 20 or 30 years, and this is what will be laid next time. This regrowth from hedge laying and hedge coppicing, that's what makes hedges immortal. All hedges have like a natural life cycle, a fairly short one, and until we rejuvenate it. When we rejuvenate it, it essentially sort of gives a hedge immortality, because these new shoots are coming right from the base. That is another life cycle for this hedge, and those are the ones that will be laid next time.